Well, what about Sargent, by the way?
Sargent,
I want Charlie's take on where's Sargent in the depth chart, Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie, tell us.
Put a number on it. Where is he at in the depth chart?
Right now.
Yeah, give us your depth chart.
Yeah.
I would say
maybe.
Josh Sargent is number 4 in the depth chart right now.
Behind?
He's number 4.
Okay.
Right now, Jesus Ferreira is number 1 in the depth chart right now. Number 2, I think you have to put Jordan Pefok right now as the number 2 striker in the depth chart.
All right.
He's producing in the Bundesliga.
Right.
3, now it would have been Ricardo Pepi. But I just think, you get your first start, you get subbed off first. Now, if he kept playing, I'd say, oh, yeah, that's your guy. But he's fallen off. So 3 right now,
Connor Casey.
I still think Haji Wright is number 3.
3
and
Haji
4 is Josh Sargent.
Okay.
So no Edson Buttle.
No Edson Buttle.
Or
no
Robbie
Finley.
Finley.
No Robbie Finley.
Yeah.
Okay.
No Taylor Twellman.
Okay. So Brian Ching's out.
Brian Ching is out.
But Brandon Vasquez is 5. And I think he's going to get a look. I think he has to get a look because
Pepe's 6 now.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's fallen off.
Heath Pearce is taking notes right now. He's looking down.
No, I actually don't disagree on where Pepe's falling in. Like, there's been no signal to me that Pepi is going to increase his chances of playing and scoring. One, because that team, I mean, they get run on most of the game, and you're going to get half chances, counterattack, maybe one chance a game. And Ricardo Pepi, I just don't see the form or belief in his form that when he gets a half chance, he's going to score. And so he gets to start, doesn't even get the 90 minutes. Has been playing scrap minutes before that. So he's definitely way down the depth chart. I still believe in Ricardo Pepi in the right circumstances to be a top striker for the national team, but it seems very, very far from that right now. The Sargent one, though, Jimmy, in terms of 4, the only reason I'm agreeing with Charlie at 4, because I remember Sargent and the national team not being impactful over 90 minutes in terms of the way the national team plays. I don't know where Josh Sargent fits in terms of, can you be impactful when you don't touch the ball a ton of times compared to a Jesus Ferreira who is more dynamic and being a little bit of a false 9, Jordan Pefok who has more physical attributes that can be impactful, hold up play, things like that. Josh Sargent, I think, was a hold up play kind of guy for a while, or scrapping in those places, but I don't remember him being super impactful. So it's hard for me to see kind of where.
Let's not forget it. Josh Sargent, he's scoring, but he's in the championship. He's not playing in the Bundesliga. He's not playing in the English Premier League. He's not playing in La Liga or Serie A. Let's not overrate the championship just because it's the second division to the best league in the world. It's the championship. Let's not forget Daryl Dike scored like 15 goals in the championship and crushed it and couldn't trap a ball in the Gold Cup. Okay, so let's not go crazy. So what I will say is Sargent, yes, he's a complete striker. I've watched the kid since he was 16. I've always been impressed with him. I think making the wrong decision with clubs has been difficult for him in his progress, because now you're playing at clubs. Yes, there's a relegation fight, and it gives you a lot in terms of experience of dealing how to play with those type of level games. But if you aren't playing with the ball, your team's just defending and you're playing long balls, you're not getting proper chances. It's not a great
that's Ricardo Pepi at Augsburg. That's
right.
One. Second, what I'll say is, though, by his team collectively dropping down to the championship, they're not doing that. They're not getting overrun for 75, 80 minutes of a game in the Premier League. They're actually getting to play at the championship level. And now we're getting to see, when you put him in his best spot, that, hey, by the way, this guy's actually pretty good when we put him in a number 9 spot.
100%.
And his team can actually maintain some possession. So there are some counters to that. Championship for me is one of the most competitive leagues in the world.
No one said it wasn't competitive.
I know you didn't, but I'm just saying in terms of the level and the some of the defending, like his goal, when I watched the goal against Sunderland this past weekend, the lack of awareness by the center back and the outside back was so bad. I mean, he must have been laughing. Like, nobody gets a body on him. Nobody anticipates that. So yes, some of the defending in the championship at times can be. I've
never said the championship is not competitive. I never said the championship is worse than Major League Soccer. I never said those words.
I understand.
What I have said
to put
is,
them in your mouth.
Yes. what I have said is it's not the English Premier League. It's not La Liga. It's not Bundesliga. It's not a top division in Europe.
Right.
So
when
he's scoring goals, it's great. His confidence is up. He is a center forward. So he's finally not playing right wing. He's not just defending most of the time or trying to make runs and cross the ball to other strikers. He's playing his position, which is great.
He was the top scorer for Bremen their last year when they got relegated.
I
in the top 5 league.
I'm going to put my flag in the ground. I know we're a little ways away from the roster being named on November 9th. But Greg Berhalter is going to name the U.S. men's national team roster on November 9th. I think Josh Sargent's going to go. I don't know how big of a swing that is given his form over the last 3 games, but I think because he's played for Greg before, there's not going to be a transition period. It's not like a Haji Wright who'd never played for Greg and has to get caught up. He's played for Greg. He knows the guys, obviously, and confidence was key for him. And now if you put him in his best spot, I think he'll get called in the camp. I think he'll do well in this camp, and I think he'll end up making the team. That's any other number. You guys
I hope
take
so.
any
Jimmy,
number
I hope
9?
so. I'd be happy if Sargent, again, where I look at Sargent when I think about him, a scoring teenager, you look past all the other things like his hold up play, his first touch, all those things, because you go, hey, he's playing in the Bundesliga and it's amazing. And he's running and he's out of control all the time, but he's busy and he's scoring goals. Great. You now fast forward a couple of years. Last year was a write-off. This year, he's still, he's 22, is he? 22? Something like that? I think. Sargent?
Yeah, 22, 23. Yeah.
And so he's still got plenty of upside in his growth of his game. But I look back to all those things and say, okay, in the national team, again, we've talked about guys like this. You need to be 99% hold-up play as a striker for this national team. Otherwise, this national team's in trouble. Because if you don't know exactly when to hold the ball, when to bring it down, when to control it, when to lay it off, when to stay in the box, when you don't understand the flow of those things at the international level, our team falls apart pretty quickly. And so that's what I'm looking at for Josh Sargent in terms of his game getting better. We know he can score goals. He scored in the Bundesliga as a young player. We know that he can get in and around the box and finish those types of things. You're seeing it now in the championship. Can it be consistently at the next level? But can all the other things that are not scoring goals be a high enough standard that if he's not scoring goals, he's still, again, being impactful for the national team? Because we have guys that can score in any position on our national team.
Yeah, it's true. We're looking for Olivier Giroud, who didn't score a goal when France won the World Cup.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm just saying we're looking for.
We are
looking for him. We are looking for a player that can help us connect and combine. Because as Heath mentioned, obviously we have a lot of talented midfielders and wingers that can.
But that's why I loved Ricardo Pepi so much when he played with the national team, is that he made all those other players, when he was good, better around him. He brought Christian Pulisic into the game. He brought our attackers into the game. Lay off, spin out, do things that are like dynamic, quick sprints that bring all these other players around him, bring out the best of them. And then, he was capable of scoring a goal when he was in form too. But it was that ability to just be engaged. We saw him a lot. We saw our striker when he had his good games. Not necessarily his bad games, but he had his good games. He was engaged with our attack, and you could see him connected all the time, which I liked, and hopefully Josh Sargent can be that.
All right, one bold prediction from you guys in the number 9 spot right now, August 29th, 2022. I got Josh Sargent making the World Cup team. I think he's going to do it. Charlie, I'll come to you first. With regard to the number 9s, you have a bold prediction about what's going to happen. It could be Jordan Pefok scoring the winner against England. Whatever you want. Boy. I just want to see. Give me a bold prediction here on this day. You got one for us? Or Heath, if you're ready for it.
I'm going to throw Brandon Vasquez as my flyer.
All right. You're going to make the team.
So he makes the team is what you're saying, Brandon Vasquez.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I don't have any bold predictions because nothing really bold that can come out of it. I'm not going to be crazy and say,
Pepi could be your bold prediction.
Pepi making the World Cup roster. That's a bold prediction considering where he is right now. I would say because he's so different than most of the players. Man.
Sargent could be your bold prediction if you want.
That's why he can't steal my.
You can't eliminate it. We can't eliminate it and leave Charlie with just like going like.
I'm not gonna be crazy. I will say. I'm gonna stick with Ricardo Pepi because we've seen his ceiling. My bold prediction is he makes the roster.
Wow.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna say.
That's pretty bold, actually. You went from like I don't have one to like the boldest.
Yeah, I'll go bold. I'll go bold. Yeah.
Ricardo Pepi making the roster. Heath has Brandon Vasquez. I have Josh Sargent. We'll see who's right on November 9th when the roster is announced by Greg Berhalter.